Hey guys, it's Lexi and welcome to Second Banana Society. So I'm wearing pajamas right now. Look at my awesome socks. They got sharks on them. I really like them. I'm really excited about them. And these are my favorite pajama pants. And this is a shirt that I loved when I bought it. Well, when my sister bought it for me for my birthday when I was like 15 or 16. 15, I think. So this week's theme is bedtime stories, and as a kid I didn't really read or listen to that many bedtime stories. I'm sure if you ask my mom or dad, I probably did. I just don't remember because my childhood was a long time ago. I did really like reading though. Reading was my favorite thing when I was younger. My favorite series was Jack, Anne, and the Magic Treehouse. The Magic Treehouse, whoever was in the Magic Treehouse. The brother and sister who traveled through time. I read all of those books up until I stopped reading the series. One of those books was the first chapter book that I had ever read in a full day. That I had ever finished in one day, and I was really excited about that. I'm really thankful to my mom for sparking my interest in reading, or at least I think it's accredited to her. But I don't know, I don't really remember that much from when I was super little. I used to have a bunch of books. We used to have a bunch of bookshelves. I still have bookshelves, there's just not that many books on it. It's more just random junk now. And I remember we used to have this doll house. It was a doll house, but it was a bookshelf, and I loved it. We had so many books. And then at my dad's house, we had more books just in our closet. We had books everywhere at both houses. But unfortunately, since we grew up, they're mostly kind of gone. I personally don't have any of the books left over from when I was younger. I know I used to read a lot of Nancy Drew, and I loved Wacky Wednesday. That was my favorite Dr. Seuss book. I read that all the time. But I went into my little sister's room and I found some books that I used to read and that used to be mine, and I'm just gonna show you a bit about what my childhood was like and what my family thought I liked and that stuff. So first is Roald Dahl's The Witches. We read this at Latchkey. This was never mine. This is my sister. She got it in some book swap at her school. But I remember when I was in Latchkey, we would all sit out in the commons area or the front of the school, and it would be book time. And then Bo, who was the leader person, she would read a book to us. And I remember her reading this to me, and I also remember her reading a bunch of other books. And that was my favorite part of Latchkey, was when we would go out and read, because it was just so calming. I wish now that I could just have people read to me. That sounds kind of dumb. I just remember all the kids just laying down and listening to her read, and it was just magical at the time. And this is one of the books that I really remember with that. The next one is something that my grandparents got me, because my family is very religious and churchy, so they got me God's Little Princess devotional Bible. It's basically a Bible. I don't really know how it works, but they wrote in it, and it says, "Our Princess Lexi from Grandma and Grandpa for Christmas 2006. And the occasion was family Christmas. So it's kind of neat. It looks like I folded some pages. Basically, it's not exactly the Bible, but it tells you stuff about the Bible, because when you're little, it's kind of hard to understand the Bible straight up, so they put it in easier words. I have had an American Girl doll since I was 8, I think was the age that my one grandma would buy every girl in our family an American Girl doll. So I was obsessed, and I loved her. Her name was Veronica. That was my favorite name at the time. But so because of that, I got these little books, Smart Girl's Guide to Friendship Troubles and Smart Girl's Guide to Manners, and looking back, I could have used this book this past year. Although, to be honest, I did read these. And there were more. They're gone now, I think. A Smart Girl's Guide to Boys was one that I read. I don't know. But, I guess, I did kind of follow these. This book is, the most iconic book of my childhood for no reason. I just remember reading it and it making absolutely no sense to me. Even now, I bet if I read it, it would make no sense to me. And it's not a popular book, and I didn't realize we still had this till tonight, and I had been thinking about this and mentioning it to people, did you read that book where this happened? And everybody's no, what are you talking about? And I finally found it. So Adventures at the Grandparents' House was just really, it's a strange book. So basically each chapter is about a different thing that lives on the shelves of this grandparents' house, and then it's like a narrative about each of these things, and it was kind of boring, but I read the whole book, and I don't know why, it's just so iconic. So yeah, I can't really remember any like bedtime stories. There was Goodnight Moon, and I'm sure there were others, but like my childhood is a really long time ago. At least it feels a really long time ago. It's not as long ago as like my parents' childhood, but like so much has happened and time moves so quickly. What are some of the weird books that you guys remember from when you were younger, and did you also get rid of like all of your childhood books, and do you regret that? Because as I'm getting older I do regret it a little bit, but at the same time it's like I need to move on. I don't know, it's a weird like in between sort of feeling. Anyways, I hope you guys all have an amazing day, and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye!